USAID COVID-19 response in the marine small-scale fisheries sector of Ghana.
Following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in Ghana in March 2020, it was anticipated that fisherfolk were at risk considering the mode of transmission of the virus and the communal nature of landing and processing fish. This could have negative effects on the fisheries value chain, threatening food security in the country. To help influence positive behavior change amongst fisherfolk towards COVID-19 safety practices, the USAID Sfmp, as part of its SBCC strategy, supported the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development and Fisheries Commission, produced and disseminated audience-specific information education and communications, IEC materials such as posters, animations, and jingles in 5 coastal languages. The project also produced a campaign song in collaboration with one of Ghana's leading music stars, Kofi Kinata. The jingles were constantly aired on radio stations most listened to by fisherfolk. These jingles were also played on PA systems at landing beaches and community information centers across the coast. The animations were constantly aired on TV stations. The Sfmp also initiated a competition that rewarded landing sites that best observed and practiced the COVID-19 safety protocols.
Mkonye Michael Bumagba, Chief Fisherman of Kajikopa. Ava dollar like ava ikai oyo coronavirus la goma jamiom ye buiba. Anya dollar like matangola mi atoshilao. Gaka la ngsoso ika Sfmp va fiama la radio ji pla ovamion to mi agbo pla TV station o we ba mi va deje sheba dollar la alivava. Ta mi va ororoba la fiama na mi ina tojo mi akonya ba no sma so aro. Gafia itoji la ba toji ami mi na ya no do marama no nyota na mi gbokon la gbe na ma hia ba nyonwu o arajo ono joga na mi na mi ko la kori na mi yo won na baba loto akoju.
To create an enabling environment, the Sfmp provided and maintained hand-washing stations at 249 fish landing and processing sites. The Sfmp supplied water, soap, tissues, trained and deployed 242 community volunteers known as site advocates to man the stations. To help reduce the negative economic impact of the pandemic on fishing households, the USAID Sfmp targeted about 2,000 poor and vulnerable fisheries-dependent households at risk of not meeting basic food needs by providing them with cash assistance every month over a period of 4 months, December 2020 to March 2021.
To be able to provide the cash transfers to the about 2,000 poor and vulnerable households, Sfmp collaborated with the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture and the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, which is the lead implementer of the LEAP project, as well as the fisheries associations. The leadership of the associations nominated representatives at each community to support us identify these poor and vulnerable households using a criteria they had defined themselves. After the vetting was done, the beneficiaries that were selected finally were then provided with a cash transfer on the mobile money platform. Now the good thing with this is that these poor and vulnerable households who hitherto were not financially inclusive have now become part of Ghana's digital payments platform.
Mary Okwe, a 45-year-old mother of 2 at Elmina in the Central Region, is one of the beneficiaries of the cash transfers.
Mrs. Mary Okwe, Mr. Edna Java Hill. Me edma wo mpano, me enam edma wo mpano. na nse abrabo no mbeyezin na yenya mbofi Sfmp wo mo obobo hen yalba COVID-19 no be no mama nze mo mbeyezin mo na sisi ade ngo Sfmp fo yawo wana wa send sika wadato yen mobile money no do na yakoyeke nti ehu de o mama ifie asitan mu krofom kakra be 4 months ni a what send sika nti ehu de mo wa ye no yen enyo so.
The COVID-19 pandemic has also worsened the plight of fisherfolk who are already poor and vulnerable as a result of the near collapse of Ghana's marine fishery. This new threat has heightened the need for fishers to pursue livelihood opportunities outside the fisheries sector. The Usaid Sustainable Fisheries Management Project piloted trainings in livelihood opportunities that can help particularly the youth and women generate income outside the fisheries value chain as part of the COVID-19 interventions to mitigate the potential economic shocks of the pandemic and relieve pressure on fish stocks. The Sfmp piloted 3 livelihood options: soap making, baking, TV satellite installations, and air-conditioned unit repairs. A number of fisherfolk and individuals from fishing-dependent households from over 10 communities were trained in these diversified livelihood options.
Mizineze Sfmp. Menya emfe edonu ebasa. Mifi bronyuma a oye brono wo Elmina. Na edwuma mpapa yenye afredwuma. Na naso na Yesu nmuma oye. Na afredwuma no na nka no oye da na sisi azan oye da. Na Sfmp mine into TB, DSTV installation, air conditioning installation and repairs. Na what train no we women startup tools are able to guide man or some train business development ways are able to me for do they develop in age man. Na ma she edwuma ase. Mu gudu meri ya mini mu awe shem de edwuma no botumpo ma ma bo emu store. Na ma so ma fa bi no ma kire wan. Ama yen na ye nkubu mpano na pressure na wo mpano na ndoso.
These pilots demonstrated there are economic opportunities that can be scaled up to benefit larger numbers of fisherfolk. Diversified livelihoods also help fisheries-dependent households mitigate economic shocks and increase household resilience in the face of declining fish stocks and other economic hardships.
I wish to take this opportunity to express my profound appreciation to the U.S. government and its project Sfmp through Usaid for the tremendous support that they gave to the Fisheries Commission, and for that matter, the fisheries subsector, when there was a COVID outbreak.
For us at Sfmp, the COVID response has been very successful with active involvement of all key stakeholders in the entire process, including design, implementation, and monitoring of the intervention.
The social and behavior change communication activities initiated by the Sfmp over the course of this COVID-19 response intervention need to be sustained by the stakeholders to help reduce the infection and spread of the virus in fishing communities and its related socio-economic effects on the sector.